everyone. So ready for Pilates today. We are going to use the stability ball, so make sure you have a ball nearby. I like to use the ring to hold the ball in place so it doesn't roll away while we're doing some other stuff. So let's go ahead and stretch out on our mat. Go ahead and lay back nice and long. Legs long. Let's do a great big inhale. As we reach those arms overhead, a great big stretch. And then on that exhale, let everything release and relax. So inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Let's do two more. After that last one, we're going to hug those knees into the chest, pull them in nice and close, and let's do a little side to side rock. Then we're going to drop arms out like a T. Let's put those feet down. And let's take those knees from side to side. Let's do one more on each side. We'll meet back in the center with those knees. We're going to take the left leg really long and straight. Feel like you're reaching through those left toes. We're going to interlace all 10 fingers and grab onto our right knee. And we're going to draw that right knee down toward the right shoulder. You want to maybe pull it out to the side a little bit to avoid the rib cage. Seeing how close you can get that right knee to the right shoulder. Left leg stays as long and straight on the mat as you can keep it. All right, now let's bend that left knee and we'll bring that right leg up straight. We're going to rotate that ankle. And then reverse, other direction. Now let's point and flex. We're going to release that leg and then we'll pull it back in. You can either pull it in closer or maybe you can do a bend and straighten to help loosen up that hamstring. Let's switch. So we'll take that right leg really long and straight, flex that right foot, and now we'll pull that left knee out to the side and then down toward the left shoulder, keeping that right leg as long as you can. Let's bend the right knee and we'll take that left leg up. We're going to rotate that ankle. Let's reverse, other direction. And let's point and flex. we're going to release that leg and then pull it back in, either a little closer, or you can do the bend and straighten, your choice. All right, let's hug both knees in, and you can either roll over to your side to come up, or you can roll straight up. And we're gonna come to seated nice and tall. So we wanna flex those feet. We're gonna roll those shoulders back and down. Let's zip those abs in so we're really supported, and we're gonna bring those arms in front. Let's take our inhale, we're nice and tall. On that exhale, we're gonna draw that belly button closer to the spine as we round, scooping it in. Inhale back really tall, best posture. Exhale and round. Let's do 2 more like that. And let's come back to nice and tall. We're going to take those arms, we're going to take the hands and rest them on top of the shoulders, rolling those shoulders back. So that really good posture. We're going to zip the legs together, so feet side by side, knees touching. Really perfect posture. Your body, you want it to look like the shape of a letter L. Your legs being the tall side and the torso being the bottom side of a capital letter L. So let's take an inhale, we're here in the center. As we exhale, we're going to do a little twist to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. So we're trying to hold those legs and feet totally still. Separating the upper body from the lower body here. Finding that movement at the waist. One more each side. And we'll relax those arms. We're going to move those feet back apart a little bit. And let's reach, finding something to grab onto, the calves, the ankles, maybe the toes. And let's give those legs a little shake. And we're going to come back to nice and tall. Let's bring those arms up nice and long for our saw. So we're going to take an inhale, we're tall. Abs are pulled in. We're going to exhale as we reach across toward that opposite foot. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Reaching both ways with the arms. Scooping that belly button in. All right, let's hold this next one. Reaching, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Let's reach and hold long arms for 3, 2, and 1. All right, it's time to do roll like a ball. And I want to give you the option to do it with your big stability ball if you want to give it a try. It's a little more challenging. If you'd rather not, you can just leave that ball off to the side. But if you want to try it with the stability ball, you're going to hug that ball right against your shins. We're going to round the spine so we can look down at that belly button. Imagine you're holding an egg underneath your chin, looking down. And let's inhale as we roll back. Exhaling as we come up. So remember, we're trying to keep those feet off of the mat as we come up. So we're using our momentum to roll, but then we're using that core strength to stop that momentum so those feet don't land on the mat. Let's do 2 more. All right, and let's come back up to nice and tall. So we're gonna do another little stretch here to get us ready for open leg rocker. So we want a really nice, tall, straight spine. We don't wanna hunch around like this when we do this stretch. Try to stay really tall, and we're gonna pick that right leg up. So you can leave some bend in that right knee if those hamstrings are feeling tight, or you can take that leg nice and straight for this stretch. Let's switch legs. Keep the good posture, leave a bend in that knee if you need to, or take that leg straight. Okay, so open leg rocker. Choices. You can use the ball or not. You can totally do this without the ball by just grabbing onto the legs. If you want to use the ball, we're going to place it in between the shin, ankle area, and you can either do it with knees bent, rolling this way, or you can take those legs all the way up straight for open leg rocker here. Inhale, rolling back, exhaling on the way up. That exhale helps you come up. Scooping that belly button in. Let's do 2 more here. And we're going to hold that last one and try to balance. And let's go ahead, release that ball, and we're going to take it on down to our backs. Have that ball close by, because we'll have that option to use it. So we're going to do our 100. An option to have the ball in between the knees with the feet down, with the feet up, ball in between the knees, or you can have those legs out straight. That ball can be in between the knees. That may be a little wide, so you could always move that ball up in between the ankles. And your 100 can be legs closer to straight up and down to help you keep that low back down, or if you have that strength, you can take that ball down, those legs more at an angle. So we're going to feel that low back come in contact with the mat. So we want to pull that belly button toward the spine as we lift our head and shoulders up nice and high. Reach through those fingertips, long arms here. Decide where you want that ball and those legs. And let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. resting back. So time for some single leg circles. Same thing here. You can use the ball if you want. If you want to make it a little more challenging, we can rest one foot, one leg on that ball. It'll be a little harder to keep everything else still without that foot on the floor. So if that's too difficult, feel free to just take that ball off to the side. So let's start with that left leg on top of the ball. We want that left knee bent at about 90 degrees. We're going to take that right leg just straight up and down. Toes pointed. We want to squeeze this right quad. So we want no knee in this right leg. It's super straight. We're going to zip into our tightest, skinniest jeans. So belly button toward the spine. Arms are nice and long by your sides unless you want one hand resting on your tummy as a little reminder to stay zipped in. We're going to inhale as we circle that leg out to the right. We're going to exhale as we lift it back up. Inhale on the circle. Exhale as you lift. So if you're using the ball, you may have to change the size of your leg circle a little bit so that you don't bump into your ball every time. Keeping this right leg really engaged. It's super straight. Think belly button toward the spine. The back of the neck is nice and long. The shoulders are away from the ears. Take your time with that circle. We want to hold everything else really still and steady. So we don't want this left leg to move at all. That means we're trying to hold that ball as still as we possibly can. No knee, super straight leg. Stay zipped in here at the end. Here's the last 4. 3, 2, last one. Let's hug that knee in. Okay, so if you're using that ball, we're going to move it over underneath that right leg, and let's bring that left leg just straight up and down. No knee. Really squeeze this left quad. Try to let the right foot be relaxed on top of the ball. Belly button toward the spine, zipped into those skinny jeans. Let's inhale as we circle out to the left. Let's exhale as we lift it up. Trying to hold that right leg really still. Holding that ball really still. No knee in this left leg. Really engage that leg. Don't let it get lazy. Remember, shoulders away from the ears. Feel like you're reaching through those fingertips. The back of the neck is nice and long. And that belly button toward the spine. Last 4. 3, 2. Last 1. Let's hug that knee in. Okay, we're going back to the right leg. So foot on the ball, or left foot on the ball if you're using the ball. Right leg to straight up and down. We're going to reverse it. So get zipped in. Get your good alignment, your good posture, long spine, long arms. We're going to inhale as we go straight down. Try not to bump into your ball. We're going to exhale as we circle it up to the top. Inhale, straight down. Exhale, circling up. Take your time so that you're holding everything else really still and steady. We're trying to keep that ball totally still. Toes are pointed on that right foot. Foot that's resting on the ball is just relaxed. Belly button toward the spine. Staying zipped in for the whole set. Don't forget that right quad, really squeezing it to keep that right leg super straight. Go slower if you need to, if you're having trouble keeping that ball still. Slow it down or make that circle with that leg smaller if you need to. Don't let this leg get lazy. Keep it really engaged here at the end. Really zipped in with those abs. Last 4. 3, 2, last 1. Let's hug that knee in. Okay, last set. So ball underneath the right foot if you're using it. Left leg just straight up and down. Let that right foot relax. Point the toes on the left foot. Let's zip into those skinny jeans. And we'll inhale as we go straight down. Exhale, circling up to the top. So right leg and that ball totally still. Take your time. Keep everything under control. Keep drawing that belly button toward the spine. Squeezing the left quad, keeping that leg super straight. No knee, no bend, no softness. Last 4 here. 3, 2, last 1. Let's hug that knee in. All right, we're going to bring this ball in between our hands now. Legs start nice and long. We're going to take that ball overhead to start with. So reaching overhead. We're going to take an inhale where we're stretched out nice and long. On that exhale, we're going to lift the head and shoulders. We're going to pull the right knee in. We're going to look down at our belly button. And then we're going to inhale and stretch it out long. Exhale, left knee pulls in close. Inhale long. Alternating side to side. On that exhale, looking down at that belly button, lifting those head and shoulders nice and high. Scooping those abs in on that exhale. Here's our last 4 like this. Last 2. And resting back. Couple of nice deep breaths. Next, we're going to take that ball right over the top of our abdomen, holding that ball there. We're going to bring the legs to straight up and down. Both legs come to straight up and down. And ideally, we want to try to touch the front of the shins with our stability ball so that there's contact there. But really key to keep those legs super straight. So we're going to lift the head and shoulders. That's going to help us keep that low back down on our mat. We're going to look down at that belly button, really trying to scoop it in. We're going to inhale as we take the right leg off. We're going to exhale as we put it back on the ball. Inhale, left leg off. Exhale, back on the ball. Both legs staying super straight the whole time. No bend in the knees. Really draw that belly button down toward the spine. Keeping those legs straight. Last 4. 3, 2, last 1. Let's take a rest. Couple of nice deep breaths. We're going to move that ball underneath the feet. And we're going to have a space here at first between the back of the legs and the ball, maybe 2 or 3 inches. We're going to scoop that tummy in as we lift the head and shoulders up nice and high. So we're trying to reach our fingertips toward that ball. We're going to stay up nice and high, pulling that belly button down and in. Take an inhale as you touch the right hand to the ball. Take an exhale as you shift and touch the left hand to the ball. Inhale right, exhale left. Trying to keep the head and shoulders up the whole way through. Feel like you're trying to reach around the ball, trying to touch the side of the ball. Working the obliques here. Last 4 here. 3, 2, last 1. Resting back. We're going to do one more set of that. We're just going to change up the breathing a tiny bit. Couple nice deep breaths. All right, so same thing. Let's bring it up. Pulling that belly button down and in as we lift the head and shoulders up nice and high. Long arms reach toward that ball. This time we'll inhale as we touch left. Exhale as we reach and try to touch right. Inhale left, exhale right. Moving side to side. Reach as far away on that ball as you can. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. Resting back. And now we're going to bring that ball in really tight and close, right up against the back of our legs, so that there's no space at all. You can't even fit your fingers in between there. It's so up tight against the back of the legs. So that means your calf is touching the ball, and to keep that ball hugged in, that means your heels are kind of digging into the ball too. What we're going to try to do here is we're going to squeeze really hard to see if we can lift that ball up off the floor. Now, depending on the size of your stability ball, you may need to take your knees and feet a little wider apart so that you can hold on to your ball, especially if you have a bigger one. So as we lift that ball up off the floor, we're trying to pull that tummy in. We're seeing if we can get those hips to roll up off the mat slightly. Using that exhale breath as you pull that ball up and in. So this is similar to our roll over move. It's similar to a reverse crunch where you're lifting the lower body instead of the upper body. And it's really good for those lower abdominals. Let's do 2 more here. And after that last one, let's do a nice big stretch. Arms reach overhead, legs nice and long. A couple of nice deep breaths as you release those abs, lengthening. We're going to move on into some roll-ups. So same choice, you can use our big stability ball if you want. You can hold that ball in your hands while you do your roll-up if you choose. Think 1 vertebrae at a time. Let that ball hover over the top of the legs. Inhale, stretch and reach forward. Exhale, rounding back down. Look down at that belly button, pull it in. 1 vertebrae at a time. Back down on your mat. So we're going smooth and slow. There's no momentum. There's no jerking or popping your body up off the floor. See if you can go in slow motion. Let's do 2 more here. And after that last one, we're going to put the ball back underneath our feet. So same thing as we did a little earlier. We're going to have a space between the back of our legs and the ball. 2 or 3 inches. Arms are going to be long and close by our sides. And we're going to work on the glutes and the hamstrings here. So our first move is to press those heels down hard into the ball so that we can lift and squeeze those glutes up off the mat. We're going to lower slowly with control. We're going to press, lift, and squeeze on the exhale. So inhale, lowering down. Exhale, press and lift. One more like this. And you can take a little rest. Let those legs and feet relax for a second. We're going to add on to that, of course. So making sure you've got that couple inches in between your hamstrings and the ball. So we'll start with that first move where we press. We're going to lift up nice and high. Now we're going to extend those legs, bridging out, but trying to keep those glutes lifted away from the mat. Holding here for a breath, and then we're going to lower down 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, and then we'll draw that ball back in where we started to do it again. So press down, lift up nice and high, stay squeezed up there as high as you can as you extend those legs, bridging out. Lowering down slowly, and pulling it back in to start again. Try to hold that bridge up nice and high. Now that was 5. We're going to do 5 more right here. Four more. Three more. 2 more. 'Here's our last one. We're going to hold this one out on that bridge for just a little bit longer. Holding here, really squeezing, squeezing up, squeezing together, breathing. Let's add a little tiny side-to-side rock here at the top. Shifting that ball side to side. Little rock. Let's bring it back to center, and then we'll lower down slowly. Bring that ball back in, and we'll take a little rest. We're going to leave that left leg resting on top of the ball. Let's straighten that right leg to help release that hamstring. You can pull that leg in as close as comfortable for you. Couple nice nice deep breaths while you're stretching those hamstrings. Let's switch legs. Let's put that right leg resting on the ball, and let's straighten that left leg, and you can hug that leg in. Okay, feet back on the ball. We're gonna burn out those hamstrings and glutes one more time. So we're gonna go up into our good bridge position here with the feet on the ball. We're gonna stay squeezed up there, trying to keep those glutes lifted as we pull that ball in and out with the feet. So arms along by the sides. Let's go ahead and take it up there. You're going to bridge out, taking that ball away, getting those legs nice and straight. This is your starting position. We're going to try to keep the hips lifted here. And now we're going to pull it in and press it out. You've got 4 more. 3, 2, last one, hold it, squeeze, lift, and go ahead and lower all the way down. Let's do another quick little stretch, release for that hamstring, right leg up, left leg on the ball. And let's switch. Let's roll to our side to come up. We're going to do some plank, and today we're going to do some plank with our feet on the ball. So the hands will be down on the mat, the feet will be on the ball. That's a pretty challenging plank, so you can always choose to just do a regular plank and not use the ball. So we're going to start laying over the top of the ball. You can get a nice little stretch here, rounding forward. The calm before the storm. All right. So as you walk your hands out away from you, the further you walk out, the harder it's going to get. So maybe you just walk out so that ball is underneath the quads or knees. Or maybe you walk out further so that ball is underneath the shins. Or maybe you walk out even further so that that ball is underneath your ankles and feet. Now, trying to bring that neck in line with the rest of the spine. So you're looking down at the floor, maybe a foot or two out in front of your hands, but not way out in front of your hands, and you're not looking up at me because that's not having your neck in line with the rest of the spine. Good breathing. Really try to keep those legs really engaged, really squeeze the quads, pulling that belly button up toward the spine. And let's walk those hands back in and we'll take a short rest. Couple of nice deep breaths. So we're going to go out 2 more times. And we're going to add movement these next 2 times. So the first one will be a little bit easier, keeping the knees bent. So let's walk back out there and find that good plank. And now we're going to bend the knees to lift the hips to pull that ball in and then send it back out to straight. Belly button pulled up and in, neck in line with the rest of the spine. Let's walk it back in. And take a little rest. And so this last one is the most challenging. I'm going to move to the side so you can see it from the side. But it's a pike, so you can choose to just hold a regular plank or do the one we did if this pike on the ball is not for you. But we're going to walk out into our good plank. And we want to keep the legs really straight here. We're going to press down with the feet into the ball to lift the tailbone up nice and high. So we want to keep those legs really straight here. How about two more, whichever level you're choosing. And then we'll walk it back in for a little rest. Okay, so we're going to stay here on top of our ball, except we're going to walk a little more forward this time so that we can bring our elbows down onto the mat or the floor. So that head comes lower, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to get our body in a straight line. Right now those legs are relaxed, but we want to squeeze the glutes to lift those legs to bring that body in a nice straight line. Just holding here, breathing. Abs are pulled in. And now we're going to add a little tap, tapping those heels together, keeping this body in a nice straight line. Long, straight legs, little heel beats. And take a rest, relax, a couple of deep breaths. And we're going to come back up, find that nice straight line, really squeeze those glutes, really straight long legs, pointed toes, and now we're going to flutter those feet like little swimmer legs, small, controlled, abs pulled in. And let's take a rest. Couple nice deep breaths. If you need to come back up a little higher, off the ball a little bit, you can. If you start to feel lightheaded, be careful here. If you stay with that head down too long, you may begin to feel a little woozy. We're going to go back down there one more time. And this time, we're going to throw those legs up. So a big squeeze and lift with those glutes to throw those legs up in the air. Abs are really pulled in. Elbows are stacked underneath the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. And let's round back over our ball. Okay, we're gonna come up slowly. Take your time coming up since we had our head down low for quite a while there. And we're going to sit on top of our stability ball. Now, if you feel really wobbly here, you can be a little wider. This is gonna be super easy. If you're okay with the balance, you can have maybe a fist size in between those knees, or if you wanna make it more challenging, having those feet and knees be side by side. So we're gonna find our best posture here. Sitting up really straight and tall, shoulders rolled back and down, arms long by our sides, fingertips maybe gently touching the ball. Keep zipped in, and we're gonna lift one knee up, and we're gonna set it back down, and we'll lift the other knee up. So alternating, taking your time. So we're picking one foot up off the floor, so this is good for your balance. We're trying to keep that good core stability as we lift one foot up off the floor. So stay really zipped in, stay really tall. Your best posture. All right, let's hold the next one up there. Holding that knee there. Option if you want to lift those hands up off the ball. Let's switch. Other knee up and hold. And let's set it down. Okay, now we're going to go back to alternating, but we're going to add a leg extension. So we're going to lift the knee, then we're going to extend the leg. Bend the knee and set it down. Lift, extend, bend, and down. Keeping that best posture. Abs zipped in. We want those abs to work here. They're helping lift that leg. They're also helping keep your ball still, stabilizing. Let's do one more each side. And now we're going to take it up and hold. Holding that leg out there, hands up if you want, or they can stay holding under the ball. Shoulders back and down. Let's switch legs. Other one up and hold. And let's rest. All right, both feet back on the ground for a moment. We're going to open those knees up nice and wide this time. And you may want to move over close to a wall so you have something to grab onto if you want. We're going to try to balance on our ball. So we're going to try to lift those feet up off the floor so that you can balance on your ball. So try to find one spot to focus on. Keep your good posture, stay zipped in, and then trying to adjust with little tiny corrections. Try not to overcorrect. That's when you're going to cause that ball to move too far to one side and maybe lose your balance. Staying as steady and stable as you can. Good job. Let's come up off our ball. We're gonna grab that ring to put the ball in so that we can hold it still. If you're at home and you don't have a ring, you could always use like a larger plate or platter to set the ball on to keep it really still. We're going to take that ring ball, setting it at the front corner of the mat. Your bottom leg, we're laying on our side, that bottom leg goes right up against, that ankle foot goes right up against the ring or the ball. We're going to lay down, and your choice here, you can lay your head all the way down on that arm, or you can cradle your head in your hand. Decide what feels best for your neck. And this top leg is going to go up and over this ball. We're going to start with one very soft tap, barely touching the floor. Abs are zipped in here. The leg is really long and straight, no knee. All right, we're going to turn this into two soft taps. Two gentle, barely touching the floor. And now we're going to do three quick taps, like hot potato, like the floor is really hot and you don't want to touch it. Making the movement come from the hip. So it's not the ankle and foot that move to make the tap. It's that hip that moves to lift that leg up and down quickly 3 times. Leg staying straight, abs staying zipped in. One more over and back. And then we'll switch our ring and ball over to the other corner so we can do the other side. Nice straight leg, starting with one soft tap. Abs really zipped in here. The upper body and torso don't move at all. It's just the leg that's moving. Keeping those abs zipped in, let's change it to 2 soft taps. Up and over that ball, making it your goal not to touch that ball at all during this set. And now let's turn that into the 3 quick taps. Remember, that leg goes up and down 3 times. The foot and ankle don't move. It's the whole leg that moves. Okay, one more, over and back. and we'll come on up. We'll do a quick little stretch for those hips. So let's fold those legs in front, one foot in front of the other one, trying to get those knees closer to the floor, and we'll walk those hands out away from us. Let's walk those hands back in, and we'll switch the feet, bring the other one in front, and we'll do the same thing. Let's walk those hands back in. Let's sit up nice and tall. Great big inhale. Reach up, and now great big exhale. All right, super job. I hope everyone is well. And I will be back in a few minutes here for yoga. And if not, I'll see you next week for more Pilates.